What's going on YouTube? This is Dave's Daily Trades, where we bring you daily AMC technical analysis, price predictions, and of course the latest greatest news. In today's video, we have a lot to cover. So first of all, we are going to be going over unusual whales and looking at some of the call and put data coming out. Really interesting things going on behind the scenes with these large whales and institutions. Of course, we have to cover the latest debacle with Robinhood, and of course, Dave Portnoy retweeting this to all of his followers and just gaining such attraction to this. And then lastly, guys, we are going to be taking a quick look at Ortex data. But first, of course, we are going to be going over that technical analysis, starting with the 1 minute chart. All right, here we go. Before we jump into this, guys, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. So really, we opened up today overall pretty flat. We opened up right around 36 and change, high 36, made a run up early morning to a high of $38.26. And as we remember, that 61.8% retracement level is at that 38 level, acting as now resistance. And what we have here is, of course, we do have that double top, which sent us down, but even better, we do have a little head and shoulders playing out on the 1 minute chart here. Once we did complete that second shoulder, we traded down for a majority of the day, but really finding a bottom somewhere right around $35. And this is okay, but we did close right at the lows of today. The low was $35.37, and we closed at $35.54, taking us down 3.92%. And after hours, we are hovering right around $35, currently sitting at $35.05. Of course, it loves to change on me as I go to say that. But looking down at the technicals, really not much to talk about or even see here. Of course, yesterday we did close very, very low on the RSI, hitting a low of 12.96 on the RSI. And of course, with all of this selling pressure, we are going to see RSI being oversold. Now, we saw that once, twice, thrice, and actually 4 times today, being that oversold territory. And that's just because of all the selling pressure going on. Anyways, I do want to, as we are talking about the technical analysis here, I do want to take a look at some Fibonacci retracement levels. So I do have to give a quick shout out to David over on Twitter. I forget his exact Twitter handle, but I'll link it in the comments section below. He was taking a look really at late May compared to present date right now and what this dip really looks like. Now, of course, on the left-hand chart right here, we do have present day AMC. And over here on the right-hand side, we do have the early to late May run-up. So some interesting things to note, and this is really looking just so freaking familiar. So we do have this on the 1 hour charts if you guys do want to follow along with this. Anyways, over here on the left, we do have that recent bottom put in at $28.91. To me, that was the low. Since then, we did have the run up all the way to $52.79, but have since corrected. Now, if we get the Fibonacci retracement, go from the low all the way to the high, we're currently right below that 61.8 level retracement on the Fibonacci retracement scale. Great. Now, the big thing is that 61.8 is really that golden level. And typically, you really like to see stocks bounce off that and start to trend higher. Now, of course, we didn't. And it looks like it's moving down to 78.6% on the retracement, which is totally fine. Now, what I want to bring back is we're talking 413 all the way until 427, which is this run up from $28.91 to $52.79. This is the same thing that happened from $8.31 all the way to a high of $12.24. Since then, yes, we have a very similar correction where we come down, we even bounce off of that retracement level of 61.8%, but then trend lower with some very nasty sell-offs. And guys, If you were in this battle way back when and have been holding AMC for months, drop a comment. Let me know that you're a true ape. I'd love to absolutely see that. Anyways, what happened? Well, yes, we were traced all the way down to 78.6%. Look at this perfectly. Fell a little below it, but on the 1 hour, once we hit this, fell below it and started coming back up. That was the start to our massive run up. So I see a lot of people getting a little bit frightened about this selling pressure because, yeah, no one wants to see AMC drop for what, like almost 2 weeks straight. It sucks, absolutely, but it's totally fine, and it's all in the playbook, guys. What they're trying to do right now is psychologically mess with your freaking head. Seeing your portfolio go from, green from at $52.79 all the way to $36.54. Yes, you're absolutely going to second guess yourself. You're going to second guess the play, and that's exactly what they want you to do. And these are why the algorithms are in place to really mess with your head. So anyways, guys, we're still on course, and we still have a little bit of selling in red candles to come. What I personally think is I want to see us come right at $34. Once we enter this range over here of, call it $38.50 to $33, that is when I think we are going to start that move to higher highs. And look at what happened here. We went from a low of $8.31, and within the next couple of trading days, look at this. The move starts. We start to break out. Boom. And then it goes absolutely parabolic, and yeah, I have it zoomed in right now, so it'll take me forever to scroll up to that range. But this level up here of $14.24, that is taking me back to the old 2-hour $60 range of resistance, $60 to $63 range. Once we break through that, it is going to be off to the races. But of course, we still have to finish a little lower. I personally believe the next couple of days is going to bring us right around to $34, $33, somewhere in that area before we start that next leg up. And yes, my predictions is it's going to look very, very similar to what happened late May and early June. So that's what I'm following right now. And of course, just for some more information of more understanding of what's about to happen, we of course have to turn to Unusual Whales and go through some of their options data. Now, the big thing that I'm seeing right now is selling the puts. Of course, you're going to see a lot of this on the page, and feel free to pause the video and so you can go through all these contracts as well. But of course, puts are very bearish, but when you sell puts, that's actually extremely, sorry, I said that opposite. When you sell a put, that is very bullish. Now, of course, what we're seeing here is a lot of puts with over $100,000 premiums were actually sold today. And to my knowledge, what I'm personally getting out of all this is the bottom is in, or just about to be in. They don't have much more room for this to run to actually lock in profits. So what they're doing is they're selling their puts, taking their money, and possibly even flipping over to call options as well. Now, if we take a quick look at the overall flow of whales over $100,000 premium, we are just about split right now. 50.7% bullish, and then on the opposite side, 49.3% bearish. Now, the one thing I do want to point out is the total open interest for, of course, today. So in total, there was about 2 million in open interest, calls being 1.1 million, and puts being 822,000.7, which is, of course, in favor of the bulls. But we do have a little bit time, and I believe a little bit more selling pressure to come before we start that flip up to the upside. Now, really, the greatest thing, everyone, I think, in this AMC community, and even GameStop as well, has been talking about all of this. Of course, we already knew all of this shit, but the biggest thing is the attention in the media that is coming out and jumping on top of this. Now, Dave Portnoy, of course, if you don't know who he is, I don't understand how you wouldn't, but that is the owner / president, or whatever you want to call him, of Barstool Sports. Very, very large company if you don't know. This guy always does the one bite, everyone knows the rules with all the pizza reviews, but this is some really great information. You can see down here, 2,000 retweets, 168 quoted tweets, 10,000 likes. Of course, Dave Portnoy has a very large following base. So the more people that can get eyes on this, the better it is for, of course, our movement. Because hopefully, this will get up to some big people and they are going to start asking questions. People like myself and other people in the community, we do not have the pull to get the right eyes on this data because people are just going to think we're freaking crazy. But you have Dave Portnoy, on the other hand, come out, retweet this, talk about this, and start asking some questions. Who knows what could happen? Things are going to get interesting. Now, last thing I do want to cover is, I'm just going to zoom in here, is just going over the Ortex data. Really the biggest thing that I want to talk about is the current short interest of the free float. Now, that is upwards right now of 21.3%, which of course I know this is just Ortex data and what they collect. Most likely it is much, much higher. But the biggest thing is this number, the 21.03%, is the highest number that we have seen in AMC, I believe ever, but just about highs of previously when we did have that massive run up. So things are looking interesting, guys. I really just want to jump back to end the video on this technical analysis here. Like I said before, we might have a little bit of selling pressure to go, getting us down to that $34, $33 level at that 78.6% retracement. But once we hit that, that's when the bottom's in, and that's when the massive, massive moves start coming. Of course, this is probably going to take a couple days, weeks to play out, something like that. Can't tell you for sure. But all I know is things are going to be great. All right, everyone, that's all I have for today's video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more content, and tune in for the next one. Peace.